So let's look at a 1300 number and a 1800 number and what the benefits are. There's a number of benefits, but let's start with the obvious. You look more professional. Looking professional in business is going to give you the ability to get bigger clients. Big companies don't want to see local numbers. They don't want to see mobile phone numbers. Also, if you have a 07 number, for example, this says, I live in a certain area. Whereas if you're looking at servicing people in other areas, then they're going to look at that number as being a negative because they just assume that you don't service their area. So by using a 1300 number or a 1800 number, you appear as though you service many areas. And not just that, but it leaves it open for you to add areas later, rather than having to change your phone number. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I don't want to put all the infrastructure in. I don't want all the hardware and the phone management systems. Well, the reality is that technology today is hosted in the cloud, which means you can have a 1300 or a 1800 number, and it's not going to really cause any hardware costs to you. You can get started straight away, and you can route phone numbers directly to your mobile if you wish. So whilst you might just be a one-man show with a mobile phone, you can now look like you have a professional business because you have a 1300 or a 1800 number that people can feel confident with. The next cool advantage is that you can route information to people as they need it. So when you have a secretary, you have a huge amount of ongoing costs, answering phone calls and diverting customers in the required way. However, if you have a 1300 or a 1800 number, this diversion process can happen automatically. And what that means is you're not paying for the staff required to divert those calls. It also offers convenience to your customers, providing you don't have a huge list of options. Keep it simple. Do you want to deal with sales? Do you want to talk with service? Do you want to talk to spare parts, for example, or accounts to pay your bill? If all of these people are you, they can all divert to your mobile. But if all of these people are different departments within your company, then why not divert directly from your 1300 or 1800 number to the department that people are looking for? The next great benefit is automatic location geo-routing. What that means is, depending on where your customer's calling from, you can actually change the answer point dynamically to send the customer to a different call center or a different salesperson. This is great for fast food delivery outlets, where people can call from any suburb and it can automatically route to their local store. So whether you're using all of these functions or just some of them, the reality is you need to get yourself a 1300 or a 1800 number early, because as your business grows, you won't have to change your marketing material later. There's also an opportunity for you to use what's called a word number. And this allows you to choose a word using the phone characters on your keypad, for example, 1300 your brand name. Now, this phone number may or may not be available, but we can do a search for you and see if your brand 1300 number is available, and if it is, we can go through the management process to bid at auction and get this name for you. And what that means is that on your marketing now, rather than displaying a number for people to remember, they can simply remember your brand. So you might be thinking, well, that's great, but how much is all this going to cost? Well, the reality is that cloud-based services are very inexpensive. Similar to web hosting or email hosting, you're only paying a very, very small monthly fee, and then a portion of the call costs ongoing. So for a 1300 number, you're generally calling for the additional cost in routing the phone call, whereas a 1800 number, you're paying for the whole call. You're basically saying to your customer that it's a free call to contact you and that you'll cover the costs. Now, the other great thing about 1300 and 1800 numbers is your ability to market one number in your marketing. If you're a company that has several different locations, imagine trying to advertise on a bus, for example, with numerous phone numbers. It becomes impossible. It means that one number can be bigger. And the bigger something is, the more noticeable it is, and the bigger it becomes in your customer's mind. So let me ask you, have you really got your 1300 number and 1800 number stuff sorted?